Okay, 5th grade. Today we're doing more long division, continuing with our dividing decimals. And today our target is I can use long division to divide numbers with a decimal answer. And our sample problem is we're going to start with 19 divided by 4. And most people, from using what we know from the past, we know that 19 divided by 4, well, that's just 4 goes into 19 4 times with a remainder of 3. Or if we wanted to write it as a fraction, we could write 4 and 3 out of 4 left over. We've learned how to do both of those previously. But now we want to write it as a decimal. Write it as a decimal. And to do this, we're going to set it up using long division. We have 19 on the inside divided by 4. 19 divided by 4, and then go through the same steps with long division, except for we're going to have an added step at the end that you'll see when we get to it. First, let's start off with the basics. 4 goes into 19 4 times, and 4 times 4 is 16, and we're going to subtract, and we get 3 left over. And if we got to this point in the past, we would say, well, we have a remainder of 3. But we're going to keep going, and we're going to say, how many times does 4, let me move it down a little bit, how many times does 4 go into 3? Well, it can't go into 3, so we're going to keep going. We're going to say how many times, we're going to add a decimal point right here, because this is where our decimal point would be, and we're going to say how many times does 4 go into 30? We're just going to add a 0 at the end. When that 4 goes into 30, well, 4 times 7 is 30, so we're going to use 7. Except for where are we going to put that 7 over here? Not really sure where to put it over here. I can look back and say, oh, my underline ends in the 10th spot, so we're going to put this 7 in the 10th spot. And then 4 times 7 tenths, 4 times 0.7, 0.7 is just 2.8, 28 with 1 decimal point. And then we're going to subtract. Have to borrow here. We get 2. 10 minus 8 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. And now we still have more to go. And we're going to say how many times is 4. Keep going with this because we don't want to get any remainder. How many times 4 go into 0? Can't do it. How about 0.2? Still can't do it. So we're going to add another 0. We're going to say how many times does 4 go into 20? And we know that 4 goes into 20 5 times. But where are we going to put that 5? We're going to look at where our underline ends, and that is the 100th spot. So we're going to put it in the 100th spot. So we're going to put a 5 in our 100th spot. So 0.05 we're going to write over here. And 4 times 0.05 is, let me zoom out a little bit. 4 times 0.05 is 0.20, made a mistake there, just like everybody does. And then subtracting, we get 0. So we're all done. Oh, we're not all done. We have one more step. We want to add up over here. Add up our hundredths, which we have 5. Add up our tenths, which we have 7. Bring down the decimal point, and then 4.0.75. So the difference between this and what we've done in the past is we're going to, once we get down to where we can't, to where there would normally be a remainder, like right here, we're just going to add zeros and make sure we're bringing down our decimal point. So we know where to write it over here. And then do the same thing right here, bring down the decimal point. So we're going to add zeros when we can't do 4 into 3, so we had to do 4 into 30. So just remember to add those zeros, and then you'll be able to get decimal answers for an example like 19 divided by 4. And if we want to check our answer, we know that 4 and 3/4, 3/4 is the same as 4.75. And we got the same answer.